This extraordinary creature is half blind, half deaf, and this is just about as fast as it can move.
Strictly professional.
Oh, he's a man. He had a beard.
Kind of man. Try anything once.
The safe word will be whiskey.
Try.
Spell red.
L-S-T-E-R.
Would you like a sweetie?
Who the fuck is that guy?
Everything that goes up must come down.
Oh, mahalo, plugs and sockets, my beautiful window lickers, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the second episode of Fry My Brain Cells. I'm your boy, Seany Andrews, and welcome to the second episode. First episode came out, and I'm pretty happy. Pretty happy the way things turned out, the way it looks, and obviously there's tweaks and stuff needed here and there, but other than that, I'm pretty happy the way things turned out, and I'm happy that some people enjoyed the show. I didn't think I'd be getting any feedback or any comments and stuff like that. I just put it out there, and I got some decent comments from people, and a lot of them were really positive. So look, didn't expect everyone to like it, and I didn't expect it to blow up straight away and stuff like that. Like I said in the last episode, it's going to be a slow burn, and that's what it is. But other than that, I'm really happy with the fact that some people enjoyed the show and that they enjoyed it enough to give me a message. And I got a lot more than I expected. I thought maybe one or two mom and dad sliding in the DMs just going, well done, son, stuff like that. But there was a few people who came and messaged me, and it was really nice to see. So thank you, and thank you to everyone else who watched. Glad you enjoyed the show. So we'll go into the results of the pain game, and it was really close. To be honest, a lot more close than I thought. But that's just my own taste, I suppose. We had a Melon to the Face and Captain Peanut Butter Austin neck and neck, kind of. Like I thought it was going to be a landslide victory for Captain Peanut Butter Austin, but he did win. Thank you. He is the funniest out of the lot. I'm not wrong in there that he's my favourite clip. But Melon Face, a lot of people seem to enjoy as well. A lot of people did not enjoy the security guard versus skater, which I'm kind of not surprised because it's the most violent out of all of them. But I will say, when I first watched all three clips, the one I laughed the loudest at, not the one I laughed the most at. Obviously, Captain Peanut Butter Austin was the one I laughed at the most, but the loudest was by far the skater versus security guard, which I think is absolutely, it's just as violent as it is. I think it's so fucking funny. So yeah, last night I went to see Quiet Place with my brother, his girlfriend, and my little sister. Quiet Place 2. First of all, I will say that I do prefer the first one. I went in hearing a lot of positive things, so that might affect it a little bit. My expectations were raised a lot going into that movie. Cillian Murphy was exceptional in it. Really, really good. I think he was the driving force of the movie, which is kind of strange because it's a sequel with a brand new character in it, but I won't get into it. I won't ruin it on people. Go and watch it if you want, and tell me I'm wrong. But there was one variable that happened in our viewing of the movie yesterday in the cinema. Look, the cinema. I'm more excited for the cinema. I was more excited for the cinemas to open up than the pubs and stuff like that because I am a fucking dork, a sexless dork. Of course, I prefer the cinema. But at the same time, I was really kind of hesitant going back because I wanted my first film to be like going back. I wanted to be a big one, and then for the last 2 weeks it's been arranging it with going with people and stuff. I was kind of thinking about going by myself for a while, but I said, fuck it, I'll wait for the crew to go with me. So we sat down, had the popcorn, the sweets, and all that shit. And what happens 10 minutes into the movie? So, when you go to the cinema, the time starts, they give you a time, but that's like 15 minutes worth of ads. Sometimes 20, depending on how big the blockbuster is or whatever. This was 15 minutes. And then the movie starts. So, when I say that these people were late for the movie, I don't mean that they came 10 minutes after the movie time was supposed to start. I mean, they were 10 minutes when the movie started. Okay? So they were about, in total, half an hour late for the time of when you go into the cinema. So the movie starts 10 minutes into it. Big grand opening scene in A Quiet Place 2. Most of you have actually seen that scene in the trailer. It's just this big attack on the town and stuff. It's not a spoiler. They'd spoil it themselves by releasing it in the trailer. They should have kept that shit secret. But anyway, 10 minutes started, and the movie's opening was really cool. And then out of nowhere, these two fucking scumbag knacker junkies come into the fucking cinema with their torches on their phones, walking up the stairs, and they get in the aisle right in front of us, down into the corner. And for the entire film, and I'm not exaggerating, the entire movie, one of them was on his phone for the entire thing, didn't put it on silent once. He was Snapchatting, he was texting, he was watching a fucking match on Facebook that somebody was live streaming. His other mate was off his fucking head. He was quiet for most of it. And then halfway through the film, he was like, oh, it's time for my commentary of the entire movie. That's fucking shit, man. That's fucking disgraceful. Get out of there, you fucking pussy. Just stupid fucking shite. Like, my blood was boiling, right? So I couldn't really focus on the film too much. But what I did see, I did think that, especially with the ending, I do think that the first one is a lot superior movie. But what those two boys did do for me, they inspired me for our next segment. So instead of doing the pain game each week, I think that'll be pretty boring if everyone is expecting the same segment each week. The only segment that's going to stay in this show consistently is going to be Virgin News. But with the fun segments like this, I don't think I'm going to do the pain game each week. I'm going to release the results of each segment each week. It's going to be the same type of thing. It's going to be 3 videos, me reacting to 3 videos, and then me putting up on a poll and see which one you found the funniest. I think my the reasoning for that is just to keep it new and interesting. So in about 2 weeks' time, you will see the pain game again on the can't count, probably the 5th episode maybe, I think. 3rd maybe. Like I said, can't count, dumb fuck. So this week, what the two boys inspired me was we're going to do a segment on Junkies, and I'm going to call it Junkies Making a Monkeys. And I just got some clips from Junkies from Dublin because I think they're by far the funniest junkies in the world. And like, look, people can go to me going, I should feel sorry for them. You shouldn't take the piss out. No. Why should I feel sorry for them? Like, they've done this to themselves and they're fucking hilarious. There was one time I went to Vicar Street and I went for a gig, and there's like a Tesco, a small little corner shop Tesco down from Vicar Street. We're waiting to get into the gig. It wasn't open yet. The venue wasn't open yet. Like, he was like, there's a pub down the road there. You can go down there and wait for a bit until we open our doors. And I was like, yeah, grand. As we're walking down there's a Tesco on the way. And there was a junkie walking just behind us, me and my mate, right? And another junkie came out of the Tesco, holding his face. He had a fucking, what's it called? One of those, do you know those fluorescent North Face jackets that like light up at night? Wearing one of them, blood spouting the hallway down it, and the blood is coming out of his face, right? Takes his hand from his face, there's a big hole right here, right? And he had a bicycle outside the shop. He goes to grab the bicycle. And the other junkie kind of like cuts in between me and my mate and just goes, buddy, what the fuck happened to you? Did you get a drill to the fucking face? And like this, I mean, like this. The other junkie turns around and goes, "No, mate, what the fuck happened to you? Was your ma fucking spastic?" It's one of the best roasts I've ever heard in my life. What happened to your face, buddy? Was your ma fucking spastic? But anyway, this is Junkies being a monkeys. And we're going to start off with, now, there's one later on, he went pretty viral, but not everyone knows him, right? So this clip here, this clip is going to be the one that's the least viral out of the two. But I think it's fucking hilarious.
Well, I went to an escort there 3 weeks ago. I fucking hammered her out. Yes, I swear to God, my mother's alive and she's sick. I wouldn't make up something like that. Salah, a bleeding board from Romania. Yeah. I fucking plowed her out with half an hour, €50. You're a mad fuck. Yeah. She sucked me, and just sat me there. Yeah. Go on, I'll let you go, yeah? Oh, yeah.
Oh man, junkies are just fucking vile bad. Why is it that they always like, I swear me fucking life, I wouldn't make up shit like that. Like, you'd be walking through Dublin and about fucking, I'd say 5-10 minutes into into being in Dublin, like in Dublin city centre, like a junkie will come up to you and go, "Sorry buddy, have you got fucking €2 on you? I need to get a train home tonight to get a job in the morning. I swear to God, I wouldn't, on my mother's life, pal, I wouldn't fucking lie to you. I don't know you." How can I trust that? I wouldn't make up shit like that, I swear to God. This horny devil, let's just call him, I don't know. What's a good nickname for a junkie? Spud is always a good nickname, isn't it? We'll just call him Spuddy. Spuddy. This is going to be Spuddy in the poll, okay? Spuddy the horny devil.
Well, I went to an escort there 3 weeks ago.
I went to an escort there about 3 weeks ago. Imagine these lads that just start recording. They were just going to record him cycle by, let their window down. He just cycles up to them and he just goes into the window and straight away, without going hello, "I went to an escort about 3 weeks ago."
Hammered her out.
I fucking hammered her out.
My mother's alive and she's sick. I wouldn't make up something like that.
I swear to God, on me ma's like, I wouldn't make up things like that. I wouldn't.
Like that. Salah, a bleeding board from
Salah.
Romania. Yeah. I fucking plowed her out with half an hour, €50. You're a mad
Yo, shit. He must have done some fucking begging for that €50. I went off heroin for about a week, I swear I did. €50. Took me an hour outside Temple Bar. Half an hour, €50.
She sucked me, just sat me there.
Imagine being that prostitute. And she sucked me cock and she sucked me dick. Yuppie. Actually, I'm wrong with the thing that he just cycled up. Because you hear the very end of it, "I'm gonna let you go, alright, yeah." Imagine how long he was actually there for them to say that. I only noticed the caption now as well, where it goes "too early for this."
Well, I went to an escort there 3 weeks ago.
Fucking hammered her out.
I swear to God, my mother's alive and she's sick. I wouldn't make up something like that. Salah, a bleeding board.
Salah. I don't know why I love that so much. Salah. Oh, that's the worst made up foreign name I've ever heard in my life. I think her name was Salah or something like that. She was from like, Romania or fucking Latvia or some shite. Yeah, she Salah. Was that her name? Salah. Come here to me, Salah. €50, half an hour. You can suck me cock and ride me.
From Romania.
I ploughed her out of it.
Plowed her out with half an hour, €50.
Yuppie, yeah.
There, she sucked me.
I'll let you go, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's Spud the Horny Devil. That's what his name is going to be on the poll. And the next one is, like I said, there's one guy on this. He's viral enough, but he's not really a household name yet for a lot of people. Which is, with this show, I'm going to try and make him a household name. But this clip here is by a mile the one that I'm pretty sure everyone has nearly seen now in Ireland. It's just, this is so golden, and God bless this person for recording this, because this should be a national Irish treasure. This clip, because it's honestly one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Smile. He's a melt.
Smile.
Smile.
Is that a camera? Oh, how good must heroin be? How good must heroin be that when somebody says smile, you have to vocally smile? Smile. I'm not going to make it through this clip.
Smile.
He's a melt. He looks lovely. That looks lovely.
The guy who records this is a fucking comedic genius. He's so fucking funny. You're so lovely. Because that's the thing with Dublin. There's the Dublin accent, and then there's the Dublin heroin accent. And the Dublin accent is more like, you're so lovely. You're gorgeous, I swear to God. You're fucking gorgeous. And then there's the heroines. You wouldn't have €10 for a bag of smokes for me and me friend Shannon. I please, buddy, I swear to God, if I had any money on me, I'd give you it. But we just want to smoke, me and me friend Shannon over there. We're going to the park to smoke a few fags. It's a real slow down, broken down Dublin accent. The Dublin accent is like very snappy, very witty. And then you have the heroin one where it's just devoid of fucking any emotion, really. You can't tell if they're happy, angry, or sad. Which it kind of makes it one of the funniest accents to even do or listen to ever. Like, whenever they come up to me in Dublin, I end up giving them money just so I don't laugh in their faces. Because that's terrible to say, but some of them are so fucking funny.
Smile.
Is that a camera?
He's a melt. He looks lovely. That looks lovely. I tell you one thing. He's look terrific. I tell you one thing. He's look terrific.
You look terrific.
He's look terrific. Do a wheelie, a good thing, yeah.
Imagine how funny it'd be if they did a wheelie. it's everything in this clip, because it's not even a fucking regular bicycle. They've obviously robbed this bicycle off a child, because it's one of those fucking chopper bikes where they're based off like Harley Davidsons and shit like that.
Do a wheelie, good thing,
yeah. Yes, something else. You look lovely. You look lovely. I tell you one thing. You look terrific. Ah, thanks. Oh, that clip is honestly, it's honestly a national treasure to our country. It's just, it shows the heart of this country, really. Like, we'll take the fun out of anything. Out of fucking anything. Right, that's going to be called Do a Wheelie, obviously. I think everyone knows it as Do a Wheelie or Yous Look Lovely. Thanks. It's like, you know, when Harry Potter, Voldemort laughs. Harry Potter is dead. Right. So the next clip is like I said, he's viral, but he's not that viral. There's only a few people that I know who know of him. He went around on Irish Facebooks and stuff like that for a few months. Everyone was making videos with him, but he's still not a household name around Ireland, and that's my attempt. I want this person's name to be a household name. My friend Fitzy showed me him about fucking, I'd say, 2 years ago. And I think he's one of the funniest junkies I've ever heard in my life. And his name is Dirty Michael. He's also going to be a reoccurring guest, or not guest. Oh, I'd love to have him as a guest on the show, actually. It'd be so fucking funny. But he's going to be a reoccurring character on the show, I reckon.
Alright, Michael. What's the story? Are you not going out to Holt?
Which way is
Which way is you go?
We're going out to Holt, Michael, for a few whistlers.
I'm not going down to Colester.
Not going
No,
on to
Michael,
Leicester.
I'm not allowed down there anymore.
Dirty
What?
Michael is a gay heroin addict. We'll use him to celebrate Pride Month. It's the end of Pride Month today. So we'll pick out one junkie who's a little bit gay, just to be more inclusive.
I'm not allowed down there anymore.
Why?
He had me barred.
Out the bookies?
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
you do? What you do?
Mooching. Mooching he was.
You want mooching?
You want
Yeah,
mooching,
mooching.
why
Our
you?
people?
Yeah.
Who barred you, Alice?
No, the other one, not the fella.
Wonderland.
Parky?
Oh, Parky, yeah.
He barred you.
Yeah, did he bar you as well,
No,
Michael?
I'm still allowed to lad Brooks.
Yeah,
You
right.
can't give me a lip to Colester, can
I'm
you?
still allowed to loud Brooks. I'm still allowed to loud Brooks. You're not going to Colester, are you? You can't give me a lift to the Colester, can you?
You can't give me a lip to Colester, can
Please,
Can we?
please.
Can't,
you?
no.
Please.
Michael, just...
I'm just after missing the bus. I'll be ages waiting.
Who owns that €20?
It's Colester down there, Michael.
No, Colester bookies.
We're going to Holt. I can bring you the
You
Holt
can't give me a
bookies.
lip to Colester, can you?
Do you want to go to Holt?
No, give me a lip to Colester.
Ah, there's no mooching in the
Give us a
Colester.
lick.
Give us a lift.
Ah, can't, Michael.
See how he slid that in. Give us a lick. Give us a lift to Colester. Please.
Will you give him
Are
your
you
phone number? I
flush?
think he's fancies you.
Are you flush?
Yeah.
Ah, he's flush.
Yeah.
Give me a lip to Colester.
What did you do with Deco that night in the park? Did you give him a little blowjob?
And then you
At the back of the inn. At the back of the inn.
He's such a filthy bastard. At the back of the inn.
Is that where
I
you
just
sucked
gave
on?
a little suck.
Ah,
A little suck.
stop, Michael.
I just gave him a little suck. Give us a lift to Colester. I'll give you a little suck. I will. Lad Brooks.
I have a new boyfriend.
What's his name?
My old boyfriend dumped me.
Why, what was his name?
Kieran.
That's sick, innit? Kieran Murren.
No.
No.
Slevin.
Oh, right.
That's because you tried to finger him up the arse.
I have a new boyfriend. He's only 30.
I heard
Is
you.
he, yeah? A little cougar, eh, Michael?
Yeah, a toy boy.
I'm a Thai boy. My last boyfriend dumped me.
A lad into that can of coke, would you?
What do you mean, like?
Yeah, lad.
For what?
Yeah, little whistler.
For what?
Yeah, little Michael.
What would I throw it there?
Would you
Dirty
throw your little
Michael.
Michael in there, no?
Dirty Michael.
Are you into that, are you?
No, I'm not.
Are you into that?
Michael. Would you throw your little dirty Michael into
Hey,
that,
did you
would
see
you?
the article in the Sunday World?
No, what are they looking
Last
for?
Sunday, 2 blokes in the Phoenix Park giving it to each other up the arse.
That was you and your dad, wasn't it? You and your dad, wasn't it? Swear you're Dirty Michael.
I gave him a little suck, I did. Yeah, I did. I gave him a little bit of a suck. At the back of the inn.
No, cholesterol bookies.
We're going to Hout. I can bring you to
I
Hout
can't give me a
bookies.
lip to
Not
cholesterol.
cholesterol bookies.
Wanna go to Hout?
No, give me a lip to
You can't
cholesterol.
Ah,
give
there's
me
no
lip to
milking in
cholesterol.
Give us a
cholesterol.
lip, give us a lip to
Ah,
cholesterol.
Give me a
can't,
lip to
Michael.
cholesterol.
Will you give him your phone
Are you
number? I
flush?
think he's fancies you.
Are you flush?
Yeah.
Ah, he's flush.
Yeah.
Give me a lip to cholesterol.
Yeah.
What did you do with Deco that night in the park? Did you give him a little blowjob?
And then you
At the
fucked
back
all.
of the inn.
At the back of the
That
inn.
way
I
you
just
sucked
gave
on.
a little suck. A
Ah,
little suck.
stop,
A little
Michael.
small.
I just gave him a little suck, I did.
The park. Did you give him a little blowjob?
And then you
At
fucked
the back
all.
of the inn.
At the back of the inn.
That way
I
you
just
sucked
gave
on.
a little suck. A
Ah,
little suck.
stop, Michael.
That's one of the funniest phrases. I just gave him a little suck. Will you give me €2 so I can go down to the water park with me friend Shannon? I'll give you a little suck if you do. Ah, go on.
I have a new boyfriend.
What's his name?
My old boyfriend dumped me.
Why, what was his name?
Kieran.
That's sick, innit? Kieran Murren.
Well, Michael, normally when you have a new boyfriend, your old boyfriend has probably dumped you or you dumped him.
No.
No.
Slevin.
Ah, right.
That's because you tried to finger him up the arse.
I have a new boyfriend. He's only 30.
I heard
Is
you.
he, yeah? A little cougar, eh, Michael?
Yeah, a toy boy. A
Little
toy boy.
toy boy.
Would you throw your lad into that can of coke, would you?
What do you mean, like?
Your lad.
For what?
Your little whistler.
For what?
Your little Michael.
What would I throw
what?
it
Would you
there?
throw your
Dirty
little
Michael.
Michael in there, no?
Dirty Michael.
Are you into that, are you?
No, I'm not, Michael. Would you throw your little dirty Michael into
Hey,
that,
did you
would
see
you?
the article in the Sunday World?
No, what are they
Last
looking for?
Sunday, 2 blokes in the Phoenix Park giving it to each other up the arse.
That was you and your dad, wasn't it? Swear you're Dirty Michael.
Oh, stop. Oh, that's one of the funniest clips I've ever seen. It was you and your dad, wasn't it? Right. So, that was that was Dirty Michael. So on the poll, that's going to be I was going to say just Dirty Michael, but I'm not going to call it Dirty Michael because I think I'm going to have reoccurring clips of Dirty Michael. So there might be a few weeks where that clip is going against, if it wins, that clip is going against 2 other clips, and one that might be another Dirty Michael one. So I'm just going to call that one, I gave me a little suck. Why are they all horny? All the heroin addicts are fucking horny. So we've spud the horny devil. We also have gave him a little suck and do a wheelie. That's going to be the three of them on the poll for this week for Junkies making a monkeys. Now, it is time for Virgin News. What was that? Somehow I don't think it's just my room that makes me sexless, and my comic book collection is probably just me. So yeah, we're getting into Virgin News. Why do it again? It didn't work the first time. Why do it a second time? So first of all, in Virgin News, we have Tobey Maguire's official return to acting after 7 years. Done some chess movie before it. Actually, I'll just look it up. Tobey Maguire. And his last film was Pawn Sacrifice. Well, he did narrate Adult Tim in Boss Baby, whatever that is. So that kind of counts. It's not really seven. Well, I suppose it's his first time being on live action film for 7 years. It was 2014 when he was in Pawn Sacrifice. It's big news in a sense that if you know that he's coming back for a movie for the first time since 2014, and a film coming out after all the multiverse stuff is coming out as well, with the multiverse, the madness of the multiverse, which is Doctor Strange, and with Loki happening as well, with all the different timeline events. You know that he's going to be the older Spider-Man in the next Spider-Man movie, No Way From Home. So we also have casted in that, which is, look, before I get into this, I think this is going to be an extremely good and bad thing for the new Spider-Man. Good in the sense that it's a cool idea to do for live action, but bad in the sense that we already have it into the Spider-Verse. Which, look, I don't see how much different, other than different actors, different voices, and different looks, this film can be on what's new to us from Into the Spider-Verse. If this was a different superhero, maybe like with Doctor Strange is going to be doing the multiverse stuff, I think it would be a little bit more interesting. But at the same time, it's cool as fuck that we have Alfred Mandela back as Doc Ock. We also have Jamie Foxx back as Electro. And there are some heavy rumours about William Dafoe returning as the Green Goblin, that's massive. Now, that's just rumours, but also at the same time, so was Tobey Maguire's return as Spider-Man. That is still a rumour because he hasn't confirmed that his return to filming is Into the Spider-Verse. In fact, he actually has confirmed that it's a movie version of Babylon, which is set to be released in 2022. Look, I'm super excited for it, but I'm also resilient on the sense that Into the Spider-Verse is Into the Spider-Verse is such a fucking cool movie, not just because of the story and not just because there's multiple Spider-Man. It's the actual animation style and the way that movie looks. That's what makes that film so interesting. So, yes, it's a cool idea. We can also bring in Miles Morales into the live action this way with the multiverse, which would be deadly to see. Miles Morales was made Captain America recently in the comic books. They've been doing this stint in Marvel Comics where there's a load of people holding the mantle of Captain America. And they have, instead of just like the American flag look on Miles Morales, they have the Puerto Rican flag, which, because he's a Puerto Rican, comes from a Puerto Rican family living in the Bronx. Or is it Harlem? I think it's Harlem. If not, I just said two very racist things there. But yeah, no, look, I think it's going to be really cool. I wasn't. The reason why I'm hesitant on this is because Far From Home had a really good casting with Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio. Mysterio looked awesome, but I fucking hate what they done with him. He was not Mysterio. They made him into like a fake supervillain with all these drones, which I think, yeah, on paper that sounds cool, but at the same time, I'm trying to tie it back in with the rest of the Marvel Cinematic Universe in the sense of like tying it back with Tony and having that overarching story arc with Peter trying out better Tony is what that's the aim with Marvel with the character. They're trying to make him like the student beats the teacher kind of thing of outgrowing the teacher and being a better person than the teacher and all that stuff, which I think is it's a good idea. But look, why did you have the room Mysterio? And I have a feeling that's why I'm a little bit skeptical on this Far From Home thing, or No Way From Home, because No Way Home. What am I saying? I just think that it could be a huge shit show, but I'm so fucking excited for it, especially the fact Doc Ock alone is back in it. Yeah, moving on, we have Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings trailer, and there was... Look, for people who don't know, he's a character who was based off of Bruce Lee in the 90s. They drew the character off... they wanted to make a superhero who is basically superhero Bruce Lee. He's not that well known, which is what Marvel are going for now, because you have to remember when a lot of people are like complaining about who the fuck are these heroes coming out in the new MCU timeline, and yeah, to an extent I kind of am the same, because there are a load of heroes that they could do that they're putting onto TV rather than doing movies on, which is a smart and a bad move, because they can make it a little bit more adult on TV, especially with Moon Knight. Moon Knight is like Batman, Marvel's version of Batman, but he's a psychopath. Oscar Isaac's playing him, which is a great cast, especially because of the Egyptian heritage and stuff like that. But then you have fucking like the Eternals and stuff like that, which like even the Inhumans were better, but they failed at that with the fucking movie. There's been no news on the X-Men yet of where that holds since the whole Fox deal. With the Fantastic Four, we haven't seen anything about that, but everyone forgets the fact that when Marvel made Iron Man 1, Iron Man was one of my favourite characters as a kid growing up. I had the action figure of him before the movie and stuff like that. But a lot of people didn't know who these people were, and the only people who watched superhero movies was nerds, was people like me, fucking dorks, like. And now everyone is watching them, and I think it's down to the reason as to like even simple things like Thor his costume looks stupid and dumb to people who aren't comic book fans, and then you have Iron Man going to fight him and he's like, your costume looks stupid, and people are like, oh, they're kind of making criticism of themselves is kind of cool, and they're funny, they're witty, the casting is exceptional. But people, when Iron Man 1 came out and the next lineup of like bringing out Captain America, basically doing the Avengers, everyone was like, oh, Marvel are rolling out like the B-list characters. They're trying to make money off their B and C-list characters who aren't really that popular in comic book sales and stuff like that. They're not the X-Men, they're not Spider-Man. Even the Fantastic Four were more popular than the Avengers at this stage. And when I mean that, I mean to people who weren't interested in comic books. A lot of people would have always loved Captain America #1 and stuff like that. But going back to Shang-Chi and the Eternals and stuff like that, people are like, who the fuck are these people? I don't give a shit. Just give me fucking Iron Man fucking 7 and shit like that. Look, and if you don't know this, like, come on, it's been 2 years, like, I'm raging that Tony is out of the MCU. I think that they could have done things. I like his ending. I think they could have kept him on though, as like the director of Shield in the future. Like, look, he could have done it in so many ways. I understand that Robert Downey Jr. wanted to move on to new things and stuff like that, but we're stuck with these characters now. And there's one thing at the end of that trailer that I'm massively excited about. I couldn't wait for his return in the MCU because I knew he wasn't dead, and there was rumors of him being locked up in the same prison that some of the Avengers were locked up in Civil War, and that is Abomination. He is back, baby. For people who don't know, Abomination is the Hulk's villain, and he looks a little different now, but he looks more like the comic book version. The one thing about Abomination, he's like Doomsday in the sense that he evolves and stuff like that. So he has got those gill ear things, and he's got a gill spine and a fish spine, and he just looks really cool. There's not much shown of it, but he's fighting Mao, I think his name is Ming. Jesus, that's another two racist statements if I'm wrong. Basically, Doctor Strange's side character. Oh well. So yeah, it just looks cool. I'm excited for it. I think it's something different that Marvel haven't done yet, and it could go badly, could blow up in their face. But then again, Marvel are really competent on making movies and stuff like that, whether you know the characters or not. Every film, you could say in retrospect, before the MCU had started, all the characters were unknown to the general public. So I would just say to anyone who has those criticism of the new characters and the Eternals and stuff like that, just give them the benefit of the doubt at first, because most of you didn't even know who fucking Thor was before these movies came out. You definitely didn't know who Vision was. You definitely didn't know who Wanda was. You definitely didn't know who Black Widow was or Hawkeye. The only people that you might have known was Captain America and Iron Man and the Hulk. Everything else that came after that was brand new to people who didn't read the comic books. So I don't necessarily agree when people are like, oh, Marvel's going to be shit now because I don't know anyone. You didn't know anyone to start with. So just give it the benefit of the doubt. Moving on, we have Batman. The Batman movie. Patterson and Colin Farrell have went back to Scotland to do some reshoots, and look, this is not that big because movies do reshoots all the time. But if this was any other company making it, I'd be like, oh, that's not too bad. It's not that big. Going back to the Justice League yet again, the Snyder Cut. This is what makes me worried, because Warner Brothers shanked that film really bad by making Joss Whedon do it, and I don't know if this is more creative control from Warner Brothers affecting the creativity of the movie. Matt Reeves directed. For people who don't know, he's directing the movie, and Matt Reeves done the Rise of the Planet of the Apes trilogy. Which, for such a dumb concept as Planet of the Apes, they're exceptional made movies. That could have been a lot cheaper and just more action based, but they have they're smart movies in a sense of what they could be. I'm super excited for it. The first trailer was amazing, but look, reshoots with Warner Brothers proved in the past that they don't have the best track record, because it's not just Suicide Squad. It's not just Justice League. It's Suicide Squad as well. Apparently, there's the David Ayer cut that people are asking for. Look, I don't give a fuck about Suicide Squad. There's not much you can release from that movie to make it any better, to be honest. He says there is. There's a few people who worked on it says there is, but I don't see the same level as Justice League, because they overshot for Suicide Squad, where in Justice League, basically the entire movie was reshot just to make jokes and make it funnier and try and make it more Marvel, which just doesn't work for a dark universe like Justice League, and especially it doesn't work when the skeleton in the movie is based off of Zack Snyder. He's such a weird artistic director, which he makes normal action movies look pretty in a sense of like the way he shoots it and stuff. So look, again, giving it the benefit of doubt, but not holding my breath. Another thing that came out this week was Halloween Kills, the sequel to the reboot of last year. Look, the movie, it's going to be another dumb slasher horror movie. It's not going to be smart. It's not going to be clever. But the one thing, I don't think they should have released it in the trailer, but I think a lot of people who are diehard Halloween fans and stuff like that, I'm not one of them. Never have been. Never got the concept of Michael Myers, to be honest. He wasn't that scary. The first one, for the time, is an exceptionally made movie. I love the way they hid Michael Myers. John Carpenter hid Michael Myers throughout the movie in the background and stuff like that. Even you have to look for him in some things, which makes him look like he's stalking Jamie Lee Curtis's character throughout the whole movie, which is a really cool concept. But anything past that, it's it's schlock. It's just shit. The trailer came out, but what I said that they shouldn't have shown was the first couple of kills with the firemen. They look really cool. They're shot really cool. Like, I love the shot inside the fireman's gas mask, where the axe comes in through the glass. It looks really cool. I'm all for because like Halloween and horror movies in general, they've always been really heroin based, like not the drug, the female superhero or hero. They've always relied on that. The term "the last girl" has always been a term with horror movies where the lead of the film is normally a woman against this mad psychopath killer in nearly every slasher movie. And I always like that. I think that's a dynamic that always works. It's a lot more scarier when it's a female lead. They always make the movies more terrifying than a dude, because dudes normally try to oversell of being tough and stuff like that, where women are a lot better at showing the vulnerability of a character and showing the fact that they are that they can be they can show terror better than perform terror better than a man in movies. Where I think it's an ego thing with men, where they're always like, oh, I have to look not scared and be Arnold Schwarzenegger and Predator and go on, do it, just do it. But I don't like the fact that the last girl, in a sense, is Jamie Lee Curtis, who's an old woman who she won't be able to put up a fight. An old man or old woman won't be able to put up a fight against Mike Myers. Now the whole town are going against him this time, and her granddaughter is more so the lead. But I don't think Jamie Lee Curtis should be in these movies unless she's getting killed. Because look, there's no need to hold on to an old hero, no matter woman or man. It's just, I think it makes it a little bit more redundant when the main hero is an older person. Like when you have Blade Runner 2022, instead of having Harrison Ford as an old version of himself fighting off against people, you had Ryan Gosling, who was replaced as the lead, and you had Harrison Ford as more of a mentor. Jamie Lee Curtis would fit into that category a lot, especially in the last movie. But at the same time, it's more so that she is the lead character. The story revolves around her. Her niece is more of just a cog in the movie. Or her granddaughter, sorry. In other news, Cyberpunk has returned to the Sony PlayStation Store. We talked about last week how much of a bomb to the gaming industry that was, and to CD Projekt Red. It's shocking that they've brought it back on, because they've even put out a statement saying it will not the best experience you can have is on the PlayStation 5 and next-gen console. Even though they've also said that it might not fully work, not fully compatible on PlayStation 4 for definite. PlayStation 4 Pro is still a weak enough performance. Look, I'm going to get the game and I'll review it, but at the same time, I'm baffled. Can't believe they released it. I know they'll make money back on it because they've lost a fucking fortune. But it is a bit of an oddity that they've re-released this game for the PlayStation Store. Finally, we have Shazam. Shazam has they've released pictures of the costume for Shazam of Zachary Levi as Shazam. I thought his last costume was pretty cool. The cartoonish look of it really suited the tone of the film and stuff like that. But I also think that like if what I was saying last week, if they are running up to Black Adam versus Shazam after the Black Adam movie and after this one, it will be a bit of a different tone they'll be going for. It won't be as whimsical or as fun, which I think will lose from the movie a bit. But the costumes do look cool. And there is one woman who's after blowing up the internet, who is the replacement of the grown-up version of Mary, is Grace Fulton. And has this table rise a few inches? Probably, because now I have a boner. Yeah. Don't be saying shit like that, Sean, please. The girl is a smoke show. What can I say? She is so fine. And I'm not embarrassed to say it. She is gorgeous. And well deserved that the internet is blowing up about her because... the costume looks good. Now moving on to the movie pick of the week. I was hoping last night that Quiet Place 2 was going to be the movie pick of the week. The Junkies ruined it for me, but at the same time, I still didn't think that it owned that it was going to be as... I didn't think it was as good as the first one. I think it was a little bit... I think, not to spoil anything, but... parallel storylines kind of killed it for me and kills the tension a bit, because what the first movie done so well was building tension off small little scenes and building it into this big climax of a terrifying scene. Another criticism that I do have is showing too much of the monsters always kind of kills it. If you see too much of them, there's a lot less tension that you can perform on screen. But the movie pick of the week is Bo Burnham's Inside. If this isn't a straightforward movie, it's more of a stand-up comedy piece, but it's a weird, bizarre one. If anyone knows who Bo Burnham is, he is like a musician comedian. He writes songs and he takes the piss out of things through lyrics and music and performance. He kind of seems like one of those theater kids who is cool. So he's always been one of those people to openly talk about the fact that he doesn't like being famous and the fact that he is his anxiety torments him and his mental health torments him to a large scale. And he always puts it in through his music, but hides it through comedy. Inside is more of an art piece on that, especially in the time that we were lived through lockdown. It's more of a time capsule into what lockdown was for some people, especially people with mental health problems. And look, it is a comedy show, but it is a little bit depressing. I'm not going to just jump out right there and go, oh, it's so funny because there's one song in it that's so fucking funny. But the whole thing is, there's a bit of a damaged Bo Burnham in this piece. He direct, produced, shot, writ, lit, edited, everything you could do with a film or a stand-up piece he done. And I gotta say, the man is a fucking genius. Let alone like how funny and the intelligence behind his lyrics and the music to go behind it, and like that alone shows a level of genius that not a lot of people have. But it also shows through his shot choice, his interest in lighting, the projectors in the background. The man is simply a genius. Get your fucking hands up, lay your eyes on me, all eyes on me, all eyes on me. That's all I can say about it. All of you, just watch the fucking special. It's something unique, and it really is a beautiful art piece. It's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. I would suggest before watching it, go and watch some of his. I wouldn't say watch all of his specials because he's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but go and look up some of his songs on YouTube. There's one song called The Sad Song, and it's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. His performance in it is hilarious, and the lyricism in it is, it will have your stomach in pain from laughing at. Especially if you're on a bit of the spectrum like I am. So that's it for Virgin News. Moving on. It's been a tough week to be a pop star. Britney Spears lost her conservatorship case against her father. Look, all I'll say on that is we can't fully know what the truth of that case is. I know there's the documentary about Britney Spears that sheds a light on it. And at the same time, the media are throwing two different narratives of what that story really is. Look, it's a complicated case. I do think that there is a bit of abuse in the sense of her father taking advantage of what kind of money she has, but at the same time, what people don't understand is it's a conservatorship. He doesn't, like, she pays him a wage, but he doesn't own any of that money. That's Britney's money. He just tells her what she can and can't spend that money on. Well, that's my understanding of it anyway. It's probably not the best thing to go, what people need to understand is, well, that's what I understand of it is. But at the same time, look, we're never going to know the full truth to that case. It's kind of complicated because Britney doesn't seem like the best mentally capable person anyway. I know that's a bit awful to say, but look, she's even speaking about this conservatorship the same way a person would speak about being abducted by aliens. And I know that it is a bit odd, but she speaks a little bit like a child doing it. Like, she has the tone of a child. Look, I'm going into deep waters here that I can't dig myself out of. So all I'll say is that we can't fully believe what the media is saying and what's narrative they're trying to throw, because there's too many conflicting things, and the only real people who know the truth of that case is the people involved. Anything that we know is secondhand information that we can't really go, oh my God, free Britney and stuff like that. Look, it's too complicated for the general public to go, this is the truth, this is the answer, when we really don't know. We're just going off what we've seen off a documentary and what we're seeing off the news. But another pop star who got a pretty rough ride this week was Billie Eilish. People are trying to cancel Billie Eilish over something she said when she was a teenager. What? You can cancel anybody. Anybody. You can cancel anyone from anything they've said as a teenager. Teenagers are dumb fucks. Anything I said as a teenager was highly outrageous and stupid and just out there to try and make people laugh or for shock value. Like, that's all teenagers really talk like. They say the dumbest stuff because they want to be interesting and they want to be out there and they want to be, I don't know, like the edgiest person ever. And the clip was of Billie Eilish making fun of Asian people. She said the C word that rhymes with sink. Not the best choice, but at the same time, you can't cancel somebody for something that they had said years ago when that person is a completely different person. But take away that, she was a kid when she said it. So you can't really pin that on her. She was a child at the time. Not saying that it's not fully her fault. She did say it, but look, get over yourselves. The only real reason why people are going after Billie now is because they're doing the same thing that they tried to do to Adele. Is like people tried to get rid of Adele because she lost weight and got healthier. It's like, no, you need to be my fat queen because I'm fat and I'm unhappy. And when you were fat, I was happier about being fat. That's the truth. She lost all the weight and went, oh, fuck that bitch. How stupid can you be? Fuck that bitch for getting healthier. Fuck me, like. And the only reason why they're going after Billie now is because Billie before had said, I don't need to be a sex icon to sell my album. I just want to sell my albums for being me and having my own voice. And I want people to listen to music and not look after sex appeal to sell an album. And recently, she has acted like a baddie. With the, what was it on Vogue or is it Vanity Fair? I think it was Vogue. The Vogue cover of the magazine. Look at me pretend to not know what cover of the magazine it was on. And then she put out that new music video. Now that I genuinely can't remember the name of, but that one is ridiculous. The sweater puppies are on swang. Fucking hell, Sean. Christ. And to make matters worse, I really shouldn't tell this story because people are going to go, what the fuck? But a couple of nights ago, I had a dream about Billie Eilish, about her sweater puppies, and look, let's just put it out there. Billie Eilish is a dime piece, right? Like let's not forget, she is a dime piece, okay? So there's no point on being upset that she went back on her word again. She said this stuff of, I don't need to sell to be sexually appealing to sell an album when she was a kid. She said that stuff when she was a kid. And by the way, back then she couldn't have done that stuff because yet again she was a child. So like, just don't. It's so weird to me that people are just, they're going against her now because she's being a bit more adult. Because guess what, guys? She is an adult. They done the same thing to Miley Cyrus as well. It's like, oh, it's fine when she's Hannah Montana, but now she's a slut. She's not, like. They're just doing really good business moves, and you know what? They're probably doing exactly what they want to do. It's whatever they want to do. Stop being offended by what people want to do. And just because they got it and you don't be upset about it. Like, it's plain and simple. You don't see me going, oh, fuck Chris Hemsworth. That beautiful fucking bastard. Fuck me, like. But yeah, going back to my weird dream. My sweater puppy dream about Billie Eilish. It's probably because I've been watching Attack on Titan. For those of you that don't know, it's an anime about these big, huge, giant people eating small people. And it's one of those animes that transcends the genre. Like Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad's a crime show. Everyone and their granny fucking watched it. But that doesn't mean that everyone and their granny is going to watch every crime show. It's Breaking Bad transcended from the genre where everyone watched it because it was good and entertaining, as opposed to or with Attack on Titan, it's the exact same thing. It transcends anime. Anyone can actually watch Attack on Titan and go, you know what, that's actually a fucking really good show, and it is. But that's besides the point. I had a dream where I was running in this field, and out of nowhere, there's a gigantic Billie Eilish, and she picks me up. I'm scared at first. I'm like, Billie Eilish. She picks me up, and she starts to breastfeed me. And I woke up the next morning with the most confused boner of my lifetime. So yeah, that's information. That's too much information shared by me for today. But yeah, I just don't understand why people want to cancel Billie Eilish over her wanting to... Like, I feel like a feminist here. I feel like I'm the one going, you know what? She's showing off exactly what she wants to do. But you're like, no, fuck her. She's a slut. She's not. And even at that, she is not doing such highly provocative stuff. She's not Nicki Minaj in it. Like, she's just slightly showing off things, and people are getting upset and going, remember that video you done fucking when you were 15 making fun of Asian people? Well, fuck you for showing your tits. She's not even doing that. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But yeah, no, I feel like I'm remember that video, the guy in like it was like a little tiny, it was the viral video in like the early 2000s of the guy going, leave Britney alone. Well, now I'm doing it, but I'm doing it for Billie. Leave Billie alone. And if she wants to show her sweater puppies to the world, she can show her sweater puppies to the world. Another thing that happened during the week was today is the last day of Pride Month, and I think this is kind of fitting to bring up this comment. Only one or two people complained about going, that's not funny, it's a little bit homophobic. But look, I don't think that this comment that I'm going to talk about was meant with malice or the intent of being homophobic. I thought it was a really funny comment. I don't really fully know what it means. I just thought it was weird. Also, I don't know this person. I clicked into their channel to see if I knew them, see if they were a friend, but I do not know who this person is. I'm not going to say their name either. I'm not going to gaslight this person. There's no point to it. But the comment was, finally a podcast that isn't just about being gay with my dad. Now, I don't fully know what that meant. I thought it was just a funny comment, but a few people came at me going, that's a little bit homophobic, I think you should take that down. I'm like, no, it's a joke. The guy's not doing it to be homophobic. But yeah, it's the last day of Pride Month, so I thought I'd talk about that for a bit. This is my take on homophobia. I don't get it. Just the same thing as being offended. It's an alien thing to me. I have a small group of friends, or not group, I've a small number of friends who are gay or bisexual and stuff like that. And it never phases me that they're gay or transgender or anything like that. If I had a friend that was like that, I'd be like, you're just my buddy, I don't care about any of that stuff. Being homophobic is it's a waste of time, I think. You just need to move on with the world and just care about what you want to do. If you're going out there with picket signs going, screw the gays and stuff like that, you're at a loss because you're just wasting your own time because you're not going to change anyone else. You shouldn't, like, I do also, like, why are all homophobes, like, major homophobes, like, devout fucking Christians, but not like, I don't mean Christians that solely believe in, that super believe in God. I mean, like, the ones that even priests go, like, you need to calm down, buddy. Like, why are all Like, it's not just down to Christianity. They're not the only religion that do it, but they're the ones that are, like the Westboro Baptist Church and stuff like that. They literally picket gays at weekends as a hobby. And it's like, calm down, dude. It's like, if you're worried about people going to heaven and stuff like that, just worry about yourself getting to heaven. You don't have to worry about everyone getting to heaven. And it's also like, if you are gay, like, power to you, brothers and sisters. If you want to slang a dick in your mouth or rub your puss off somebody else's puss, you do that. Let people live their lives. Why do you have to try and put up a barrier in front of their life just because you feel uncomfortable with it? The second that you put up that barrier, you forget about it. They remember it, but you forget about it. You move on. You get offended about these things for 30 minutes and then fucking you move on with your life and worry about other shit that's more important to you. So there's no point to fucking being outraged on shit that just isn't important to you because it has no impact directly in your life. Like, it just doesn't. It just baffles me how people can be so ignorant to other people's wishes and what they want to do in their life. It makes no sense. Stop trying to put your own insecurities and stuff into other people's lives. And going back to the Christian thing, it's like, if you're so against gays because the Bible tells you that it shouldn't happen and God tells you it shouldn't happen, put the same energy into the fucking priests. If you're so butthurt about fucking gays, go and criticize the people who physically butthurt people. And also, some hymns are just the gayest songs ever. I'm so not going to be invited to my fucking grandparents' Christmas after this part, but sure, fuck it. But, like, in fairness, some hymns. Through him, with him, in him, in the unity of the Holy Spirit. Just through him, with him, in him. What are you singing about, dude? But yeah, happy Pride Month, everyone. I hope you had a good one. It's things are. I was talking about last week how things are looking like they're being more hopeful and opening back up. Hold the brakes on that one, government. Thank you. But look, things will be brighter and shinier in no time, I reckon. And look, we just gotta roll with the punches. And yeah, look, I said a lot of shit on the podcast today that I probably should not have, but here we are. Thanks very much for watching. I want you to please obliterate that like button for me and subscribe. Hit the bell notification as well. It really helps. But please destroy the like button for me, because in the long run it does help with the algorithm on YouTube. The more likes I get and stuff like that, the more views I'll eventually get, and then that leads to more subs, and then that leads me with money in my pocket, where I like it. Look, thanks very much for watching the show. Thanks very much for watching last week's episode as well. I'll be back here next Monday in around the same time. The lighting on this episode is going to be odd throughout it. I've been experimenting, using this episode to experiment with the lighting. I think the setup I have right now at the very end of the video is what I'm going to be going with in the future. But yeah, excuse the lighting in some parts because it's been a mixed match of stuff that I've been experimenting through the video. last week when I aired the video on YouTube, it took a while for YouTube to process the 4K, so I'm going to upload the video to YouTube a lot earlier and have the premiere a lot later. Hopefully the 4K will be processed by then when people are first viewing it. But yeah, like I said last week, trial and error. This week's just the same, and it's going to be that way for quite some time. Shout out to everyone. Oh, crass. What was that? Shout out to everyone who messaged me and gave me, I know I said at the start of the episode, but who gave me positive input on the show and congratulated me and stuff like that for kind of moving forward with it. Love you all. Thanks very much. And I will leave you with the Hasbullah clip of the week. I still want one as a pet. If anyone can hook me up on Dundee with a link or something like that, I want a Hasbullah. But please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next week. Peace and love.
This extraordinary creature is half blind, half deaf, and this is just about as fast as it can move.
Strictly professional.
Was a man. He had a beard.
Anything, man. Try anything once.
The safe word will be crispy.
Spell red.
Looking like a sweetie.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Goes up must come down.